What's up, guys? It's your boy Mark. Welcome back to the channel. How you guys doing tonight? Hopefully, everybody's enjoying their Wednesday evening with family. And of course, if you're here in the Denver Mile High City, please stay safe, man. I heard based off of some sources, aka some family members driving away, that it's pretty crazy weather outside, and the roads are getting bad. I think everything's going to be shut down tomorrow. So hopefully, you guys enjoy that, but definitely stay safe. A lot of news going on in Broncos country and in, around the NFL, really. As a whole. So what really happened, what ended up starting was the Broncos started off a couple of days ago making a few um, contract adjustments on the cap. One of them was from Zach Allen, and the other one was from Ben Powers, and they freed up, just over $20 million. So a lot of people in Broncos country were thinking, what is this move about? What are they clearing all the space for? And I mentioned on the last time that they would probably be doing this because if they wanted to eat a lot of that Russell Wilson cap this year, it allows for them to do that, which, in my opinion, 100%, it was the right thing to do. If it was up to me, I probably would have just eaten the entire 85, 86 million bucks, whatever it was, all in one foul swoop, and use this year to develop as many young players as you possibly can. So it looks like we're kind of finding that balance. So I think it's the right move. So right now, according to Spot Track, the Broncos got about $42.5 million in cap space. But when you take into account that Russ is doing the 53 million this year is what we're taking instead of 32, and then the 32 next year. So we kind of flipped it. So it's about a 21 million dollar difference. That cap space gets really cut in half. And then you got to figure about 13 million or so is going to be allocated to the rookie class. So we really don't have that much to spend, which really makes sense as to why we've been really quiet in free agency. But regardless, I think that the moves that we've made are really, really solid. I know it sounds like, how is that? We're cutting a lot of the fat. We're getting rid of a lot of the older veteran guys, the guys that might not have been really happy to be here, and we're replacing them with guys that clearly do. So, for example, today we had signed Lil Jordan Humphrey, we signed Adam Troutman, and we re-signed Michael Burton. All three guys were on the team last year, and when you see the contracts that we signed them for, they're unbelievably cap friendly, unbelievably team friendly, and if you look at what they had said after they signed it, it was all about, I wanted to be here. I got other offers. I love playing for Sean Payton. I want to be a part of the rebuild. I want to be a part of, us becoming successful. And then you look at a guy like Jerry Jeudy, whose trade officially got put through today, and he had said something like, feels so great to be here. Feels great to be wanted. And it's like, that's the kind of bullshit that's been going around this locker room for the longest time. And you can just tell, you can see it on the field of the demeanor. You can see it in their tweets now, and it's happening all the time. And I get kind of those vibes from Portland and Sutton too. But I think getting rid of a lot of that poison and just feeding guys that are hungry, man, that want to come out here and play and win and prove themselves in this league. PJ Locke is another example. So there's just a lot of these guys. And listen, man, I think that there's going to be a lot more moves to come. We can clear up cap space easily if we wanted to, but I think it's going to be really interesting because I really do feel like there's going to be a ton of movement coming from the Broncos during the draft. So keep an eye out for that because, if we wanted to ever move up to get a quarterback, or we wanted to move back up into the top of the first round or into the second round to get a quarterback or somebody that we're targeting, we can be like, hey, we'll give you, Garrett Bowles in our third round pick, or Cortland Sutton, to move up. So there's going to be a lot of movement. And there always usually is if teams end up missing out on guys that they have. But I think we've spent our money really wisely. I kind of compare it, and my man D-Mac, I love Darren McKee. He's a big fan of his. I can't say he's my man. I've never met him. But he had said on the show today and watching it today, and him and Nate Jackson made a really good point. He had said, think about what the Broncos are doing now as kind of like those auction drafts that you do in fantasy. Right, so everybody gets $100 to spend on players, and it's always the teams that really wait it out that let these guys bid 70, 75 bucks on Justin Jefferson, on Christian McCaffrey, and all these high, big time, highly drafted players. They spend a large majority of the money that they're offered, and then it's the guys that kind of sit back and are able to get those really, really good players at a significantly better value, and that's kind of what it is now. Like, for example, Calvin Ridley signed a deal north of $90 million today, something wild like that. $23 million a year. Crazy. You know, like that might excite a lot of people in Tennessee. It might be like, oh, look at us, we're making a lot of moves. But I could tell you when you win the offseason, when you win free agency, that rarely translates into winning Super Bowls. And if it does, it's typically, one-off situations with those teams that just sell their soul, like the Los Angeles Rams did a couple years ago to win that championship. It's always about steady, smart spending, keeping your own, right? So spending the money in terms of keeping your own players, which the Broncos have done a pretty dang good job of, and building it out that way. So I think it's the right move. I think that there's a lot more moves to come, but it's going to be like, let the market settle down and let's go out there and try to get some of these bargains. And really pumped about the draft. So got a lot of things coming up, but guys, really what I want to do with this channel, what I want to make it to make it so fun and unique and different than everybody else is I just want to be able to invite anybody, people that I've never met before in my life, people that I know really well, friends, family, strangers, whoever it might be, anybody that just wants to chop it up, argue, debate, talk about something. We don't even have to have anything scripted. Just come on the show and say, I want to talk about this. This is what I think. Do you agree or disagree? And we'll go at it. And we'll let the public determine, who won or who they agree with or whatever. But we'll make it a great time. So please like, subscribe, comment. I'd love to be able to get this to be something that is inclusive for everybody, that a bunch of people can just hop on and really feel like they're a part of the show. Because I always know that when I used to watch YouTube videos, so many times I just wanted to jump through the screen and be like, oh my God, you're so wrong. What you're saying is fucking stupid. So I really just wanted to make it so, man, if you disagree with me, pop on, let's talk about it. No hard feelings. Let's have a good time. So that's what I'm all about. But otherwise, league wide, it's interesting. Quarterbacks the market has dried up like crazy. I'm a little bit surprised that the Broncos haven't really been involved in anybody that much. I thought they'd be involved in somebody, and it kind of makes me think, who are they targeting? But when you kind of think about it, it's smart. Like, what's the difference between the outlook for this season if we got Sam Darnold, or if we got Mason Rudolph, or if we got Jacoby Brissett, or if we got Mac Jones? It's all a bunch of shit. It's a bunch of trash, average level trash, and that's what we've been for so long. So for me, it's like, whether it means tipping our hand or not in the draft, I don't care. Go up, get your guy, build a culture with some guys that are hungry, that want to be here, that are young, that you can develop. And I'm super pumped because by eating up the cap this year and eating that hit from Russell Wilson this year, with what the cap is projected to go up next season, it's basically going to cover that $35 million difference, or 30 and change difference. And so we will have what's projected right now, with everything that we got going on, over $115 million in cap space. And that is an incredibly high amount. And that allows for you to do a lot of really, really great moves from a standpoint of getting guys that are free agents next year versus also signing, your guys, Quinn Miners, Patrick Surtain. They're going to be huge contracts. Signing those guys long-term, locking them up, no problem. And then you can really reassess your team, because if by that point you've got a really good young quarterback that you feel like is your franchise guy, you can take a ginormous leap for the 2025 season. So it doesn't necessarily mean 2024 is all lost. We're going to be a crappy team. Whatever it is, I'm not going to judge this team at all until training camp, because that would just be stupid, because there's so many things that change up until then. But I think what I project the season to be like is it's going to be one of those years that it's going to be really fun to just see different guys shine, see what you got. It's going to be a lot of curiosity to it. So I think that going, taking the entire, or the majority, the larger part of the cap hit this year is 100% the right move. But I do think that we can still be in play for a lot of other free agents. It's not even like I have anybody on my list right now that I'm like hoping for. I mean, Eric Armstead, on the surface, he sounds like somebody that might be good, but then again, he's 31 years old. I don't know if he necessarily fits overall. Some people were talking about Mike Williams. Yeah, dude, you can sign Mike Williams if you want 3 good games a year. He makes no sense. He can never stay healthy. I don't really understand that. I think if you're gonna do a move like that, that would mean that you're gonna get rid of Cortland. And to be honest with you, I don't know what the difference is there. From the quarterback move, I think something that absolutely does make sense and that we should look at, I think the Broncos might be exploring, is trading for Sam Howell. This might be something that takes a while to do, but this is a move that actually makes sense for Denver, because right now what you're doing is you're bringing in another young guy, somebody that has a ceiling. It's not going to, make anybody think, or, it's not going to, it shouldn't keep you from drafting a quarterback in the first round. So now you've got two really, really talented young quarterbacks, guys that have high ceilings, and even Jared Stidham, you can make the argument, has a ceiling. So you got three good guys that have a lot of potential. You're increasing your chances. You're basically, you have more darts right now to throw at the dartboard, and you're seeing where that goes. So that's the kind of way that you build this thing, with young dudes that have a lot of talent. They got some playing experience, but also have a lot of talent, while you're developing the young guy. And then this year will give you a good idea. Is Sam Howell going to be somebody that's your future? If not, toodle-do next year. If whoever you draft, JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix, you get a chance to evaluate them this year. If they suck, no problem. You restart next year. Same thing with Stidham. So it gives you a lot of versatility, a lot of options. So that is, without a doubt, the way that I think we should do it. I will go ahead and say that I think that there was a lot of teams that spent really recklessly in free agency this year, and I think that there's a lot of teams that actually did a lot of really good. And I think if you look, like last year, a lot of guys, man, people gave us so much shit. I can't believe we paid Mike McGlinchey that much money. I can't believe we paid Ben Powers that much money. Listen, both those guys had their moments. They definitely struggled. Mike McGlinchey's not the best in pass pro. I get it. But Robert Hunt got $100 million at the guard position. So when you look at it, all those signings last year were a bargain compared to what they are now. So everything that looks really expensive this year is always going to look potentially better and potentially cheaper as the years go forward. But teams that win free agency never win Super Bowls. When's the last time Kansas City won free agency? Oh, wait. When's the last time New England, when they had Tom Brady all those years, when's the last time that they won free agency? It doesn't happen. The only time that it really happened where a team won free agency and won the Super Bowl was when the Broncos had Peyton Manning in 2015. And we ended up signing, well, it was 2014 we signed him, but Aqib Talib, DeMarcus Ware, just absolute ballers. Darian Stewart. I mean, just absolute godly players. But what ended up happening, we felt the repercussions of it, afterwards. But it ended up working out. Now, there's a lot of teams that go all out, and it's screwing them. The Buffalo Bills are kind of starting to feel that now, but it rarely ever happens. So it's about value. I think there's going to be a lot more moves coming. It's only the official day of free agency, so be patient, everybody. There's a lot more moves coming for sure. It's just going to take a while. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful night. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to hop on the video, no problem. We'll get this organized. We'll get this rocking, and we'll just have it where every night we're just debating, random people from the Denver area debating. So y'all have a great night, man. A mile high salute to y'all, and take it easy. See ya.